to start out just like introducing yourself, what you do, your music, that kind of thing, and then I have a few questions, and then we'll open it up.
Okay. All right. My name is Devon Pons. I'm sorry. I go by Vaughn Bucks. I'm a producer, artist. Yeah, that's it. I have a single coming out on June 4th, so I said stay tuned for that. But that's a little about me so far.
So my first question is just like, who are your biggest influences when it comes to your music?
My biggest influence is definitely Tupac Shakur for sure. Like like that's one of my favorite artists of all time. It's just amazing how he accomplished so much in like his short span. He lived for 25 years, got so many platinum albums, so many, so much music. He's an actor as well. Like he's somebody I aspire to be like, especially because I would like to get into acting as well.
Yeah. And then kind of going off of that, I guess, like who or what inspires you, whether it's like family, other artists, TV show, anything really.
Yeah, all right. So who inspires me? My top inspiration is definitely my mother. She's a person that always has told me, like, just push me to be great at whatever I do, like, no matter, like, what I do, you know? And she's the reason, like, I continue to rap, even though, like, I didn't want to, like, at a certain point, but yeah, she's the reason I'm at the point in life I am right now, so she's definitely a great inspiration. Another one is my dad, just because he used to rap, you know, and he was around my age, you know. But those are my two top like family wise. And my grandmother, can't forget about it. Definitely.
Yeah. So this next question is kind of like my favorite to ask, and it's just kind of like, how does your life influence your art, and how does your art kind of influence your life?
That's a great question. How does my life influence my art and how does my art? Okay, so my life influences my art just because I try to that's where I usually explain like my life. Like you can kind of get like my mood from listening to my music. Like I do express a lot that goes on throughout my life through my music, and that's why I love music so much. Like I feel like it's just a universal language. Like that's just one thing every culture can connect with is music, you know. So definitely I put my what I experienced through my life and my music and my art influences my life just because me growing up and hearing songs on the radio and then walking down the street and listening to my music and feeling like this is quality enough to be somewhere big. Like that just pushes me to do more, you know.
So my next question is just like, what are your goals for this year?
Okay, like I said what I said is coming out June 4th. So that was one of my goals was to drop a single because before this I have no like music out by me specifically. I'm only features, but this is like a good part of my like music career that I'm going to where I'm starting to trap music myself, you know. So that's definitely a goal. I have a clothing brand dropping. SOL stands for Student of Life. And just to get that off the ground, that's another big goal of mine. And my third one is probably to finish my bachelor so I can get on to the next phase of my life.
Yeah. So I have like one more official question, and then how I like to do this is just kind of opening it up to whatever you'd want to talk about and have a conversation about, things you want an audience to know, that kind of thing. So my last question is just kind of like, what do you have in the works? Anything you'd want to plug, that kind of thing.
Wait, can you repeat that? You kind of I didn't get that.
So the last question is just kind of like anything that you have in the works, anything you want to plug, that kind of thing.
Okay, so let me think. I have a lot of things in the works. I have songs other than I said what I said, but I have I'm having a single release party. I was about to say album, but I'm having a single release party, and that's coming up for the I said what I said after the debuts. We're gonna have a single release party, so that's something I'm looking forward to. A photo shoot for my clothing brand is coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. Um, Yeah, that's about it right now. Like I got a lot of things brewing, but those are the main two things that are coming up.
Yeah. And so, yeah, like I said, this is where I kind of like to just open it up to have those conversations, like, because I feel like artists, we don't get to have those conversations with each other enough. So,
Yeah, definitely. So I do have a question for you. So how long have you been into the interview, like the interviewing process, and what made you want to like do it?
so I got this idea towards the end of last year in like December, I think. And I was like, I want to follow through on it. Like, I was starting to plan out things I wanted to do career wise, music wise this year. I was like, I'm going to do that. And I started doing it in January, I think. Yeah. And this is like the 13th interview I've done so far throughout the year, which is crazy because I didn't think that many people would be interested in being a part of it. And I wanted it to be a space to have like these really genuine and authentic conversations between artists because like I said, I feel like we don't get that enough. We don't have that space.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Sounds good. I'm glad that you decided to follow through with that. That's actually great to hear. Uh, damn, what I was about to say just slipped my mind. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Are you a producer as well?
Yeah.
What software do you use?
I use Studio One.
Studio One. I don't think I've heard of that one.
Not a lot of people use it, but at least
Studio,
I know of.
is that like a specific software like to do like something like as in just record, or can you make beats and all that good type of stuff in it?
Yeah, you can do both. I make all of my beats in it. I record all my stuff in it. Like it works.
What got you into that specific software?
So okay, when it was 2017, 2016, I think. It was Christmas, and my mom had got me some recording equipment because that was like the one thing I wanted. And it came with the download for the software. And like we didn't have like that much money, so I was like, okay, I can use that. We'll work with that. And
Yeah.
I've stuck with it. Like I feel comfortable in it now. I might try out some new stuff soon, but
Are you comfortable in any other software? Like, do you use anything else other than that? Any software?
I have in the past, but it's like I always end up going back to it for whatever reason.
Yeah. I was like, I started on FL actually, but I was strict beats, but then I got to Logic. Actually, I started FL, then went to GarageBand, and then went to Logic X Pro. But it wasn't like a hard transitions from GarageBand to Logic X because they're very similar, and just Logic X is just a little bit more complex. You know?
I've definitely used GarageBand too, but
GarageBand is actually not that bad. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I want to upgrade to Logic like sometime this year, but like
I'm sure
I'm working on a project and it's already in Studio One. Like I want to finish it out first and then.
it'd be like that sometimes. Yeah. So, what are your goals for like the next couple of months? Like, what are some of your?
So the big one is to drop this album start of July, first 2 3 weeks, getting it finished up, getting all the features together now, and just yeah, hoping to drop that. I think a lot of my goals are more so rooted in like the label that I have back home now that I am home
Yeah.
and like building us up as a whole kind of
Okay.
and I know we're planning to do some stuff now that I'm home because I haven't been here for a few months. So
Hey, what is the name of your label?
Gutter Music Entertainment.
Fire. How did you come up with it?
So okay, it's me and three other people. We all went to high school together. And this past summer, we were at like a family event because my best friend, her cousin, was um, dating the brother of our other friend from high school, which we hadn't seen in a while. So him and his girlfriend were there. Like we were all at this family thing, and it's Isaac and Janae, and then me and Jada. And Isaac comes up to us and he's like, "Yo, like I've had this idea. I want to start this label, and I want you guys to be a part of it." And we were like, "Yeah, we're in." And we worked on some stuff over the summer. We worked on some stuff in the winter, like the winter when I was home. And we've just been, I mean, we communicate, we have our group chat, we plan stuff out while I'm not here, but yeah.
Sounds fire. Is your label like constricted to a specific type of genre, or do y'all do like all like music?
I don't think it's constricted. I mean, right now, most of us, in general, we tend to do the same kind of music, but that's not like set in stone because I know like Janae wants to do some pop music too. I think she said some alternative stuff, and Isaac raps and sings, and Jada does R&B, and we are kind of all in the same boat, but it's definitely not like restricted. Like if you want to do some more stuff, like that's whatever you want to do. It's more about having that freedom to create for yourself.
Sounds nice, man. Definitely good to hear. Good
Yeah,
to
it's a good team to have, I feel like.
Yeah, my actually like super long term goal, like I would say like a couple years from now, is to have like is to have a label. Like that's my final destination. But like before that, like to prep me for that type of stuff, I would like to like own a studio first, just to get my build my connections and things of that sort. So that's something that's coming up sooner than later. Go to the studio. Just gotta save up a little bit, do a little bit more research, educate myself. You know.
Yeah, I've always said I want like my own studio or label, and well, now we got GME, so it's like
Yeah,
we're getting there.
yeah, definitely.
So, what like inspired the single that you're dropping?
What inspired the singer I'm dropping? I said what I said. Anything. I don't know. One day I usually how I write music is like as I'm just walking and I notice something that's funny. Like I could say like I could be listening to like a general common conversation and I just hear something like, oh, that's a bar. Or just like things that just happened in my life. So I just one day I just started writing and I said what I said came. And like when you listen to the song, you just gonna hear like how I was feeling when I was saying what I said, you know.
Yeah, and like what made you want to drop that like as your first single? Because I know that's like a big
Yeah,
moment.
that's definitely a big thing. That's actually a great question. What I feel like because that was the first song that I felt like was for me, I could put out by myself. Because my first song, I wanted to be like a single, like just me on the song. Like I have a whole bunch of songs with people feature, but I wanted to do it just to be me. And that was the first song that I came up with. So I'm like, why not try this? You know, it was fire. You know,
Yeah.
people that have listened to it, they like it. So I'm hoping everybody else that will like it when I release it. So
Yeah, I mean, as long as I feel like it's important that you're confident in what you're releasing.
definitely, definitely,
I feel like there always comes this point where you're like, I have to drop something because if I don't do it now, I'm never going to.
definitely, it's like just do it. You know, She's like, why you want to? That's how I think about things. Like even if it crosses my mind, like it could have just crossed my mind. I'm just gonna go do it just because like I'm not the type of person to like live in a, like what if I would have did this? You know, I just do it. You know?
Yeah, that was like a big thing for me. Like the first time I really dropped something, I was like, I have to because I've been sitting on stuff for years, and if I don't do it, I'm never going to.
Definitely how it is. I could definitely attest to that. Or the feeling because I've been recording music for a long time, and I do have a couple of singles I've cut it dry, but I just haven't. But I feel like when you know, like you just know when it's your time to drop, and I just feel like it's my time now. You know?
Yeah, it's a good feeling when you're ready to finally do it.
Yeah, it's exciting. it's also like a lot of work. Like it's not as like easy as it's like built out to be. Like it's a lot of work that comes behind like dropping a single, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Prepare and promote. And
Yeah. Collaboration, promote, cover art. Uh, I would say I would say the marketing is probably the like the biggest thing of like the dropping of the single and the cover art. Marketing and cover art is like probably the biggest thing.
yeah.
And like how you're distributing it. Now, like in today's day and age, it's easier to get music distributed because of the internet, but it's still like still big thing, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's still a process because even like with DistroKid, you have to have it up like 3, 4 weeks in advance just to get the
well, I did not know that. That's crazy. 3 or 4 weeks in advance. I'm not. I started doing a little bit of research on United Masters, and that looks like the way I'm gonna go, like for the as far as the distribution process, just because of like how successful they've been in like the last couple years with the distribution, like how they go about doing business when distributing royalties and all that. I feel like that's the best way to go, you know, out of everything I've seen.
I know you mentioned like cover art being a big thing too.
Definitely. Cover art, I feel like makes that's the first thing people see before they even hear the song. So the cover art stands out, then it's the next step of listening, and once the song stands out, then it's what's after that. But I feel like the cover art is where it starts. Cover art is no good, and it's not gonna attract like the audience that you would like to listen to the music. So that's how I feel about the cover art. That's really important to me.
That I feel like I'm lucky because I can always hit up and be like, hey, I'm dropping again. Are you down to help me? And
Yeah. Unfortunately, the artistic gene skipped over me. Like my sisters are very artistic and they could draw, but that gene skipped me, so I gotta do a lot to get the cover art that I would like, you know.
yeah, luckily, like with Gabby, like we're always kind of on the same page. Like we know each other, so it's like, hey, I I trust you more than I trust anyone else with this. So
That's a good resource to have. A very great resource to have a person that's very artistic and knows like the type of stuff that you like. It's kind of hard to come by like people that are willing to do like quality work like in a business manner, like like just in business timing, because there's been so many instances when doing work and people push like the fact that you have money involved to the side and act like they're doing you a favor just because you're their friend. That's
yeah,
yeah.
I guess it does kind of come down to like surrounding yourself with the right people that you can do business with and have even like friendships and partnerships with.
So you got any plans to travel this summer? Like you plan on going anywhere?
It kind of depends on how money looks, to be honest, but I do want to try and visit Gabby in the city this summer. We talked about that. Um, Also, kind of want to go to Philadelphia, mostly
All right.
because I could get a deal on some studio time and don't want to pass that up. So we'll see. How about you?
Yeah, actually, I don't know about this summer, but after I graduate, I'm actually planning on going to London for grad school and for audio engineering. And like I told you, I have a clothing brand I'm getting off the line, SOL Clothing, and I feel like that place is very like this is seen for both music and fashion. And I would like to study abroad, so why not? You know, and they have some great schools out there for audio engineering.
Yeah, that would be really dope.
And that's probably my 6 months. I'll probably be because I have to do a full semester and then I'll go to London for my grad school for a year. And then after that I'm done for school forever. School forever.
I got one more year. I might have to take an extra fall semester, but then
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Have you been playing like any instrument? Have you been practicing any instruments this summer or no?
I need to. Uh,
I did too.
I've kind of been taking a little bit of time to rest because I know like I gotten like really burnt out after this past semester, and I just kind of needed to take a moment. But I'm hoping to start practicing piano again in the next few days. So,
In 2 days. Yeah, I'm gonna start practicing too. I'm actually procrastinating setting my piano up. But yeah, last semester was definitely a stressful semester. Probably the most stressful semester I've been through. I'm not gonna lie, my college career.
yeah, it was not the move.
It was just COVID was a lot this year. I'm not gonna lie. COVID was very made things much harder. Like I've missed a lot of opportunities because of COVID. You know,
Yeah,
but what they say, everything happens for a reason. So I've done a lot of productive things throughout this quarantine. Like I've decided to start I'm in clothing line as a quarantine. So you know, just make the most of my situation.
yeah. I feel like despite like how crazy it's been, I finally it gave me that opportunity to find that passion for music again to like create for myself, which I feel like I hadn't been doing for a long time. It was just like, oh, okay, we can still do this.
Yeah. That was that's kind of the same way it's been for me. Like at school, it was more like creating music like for for a class and not just because I wanted to do it. You know,
Yeah.
like I could definitely feel like I could definitely.
I felt like it gave like that time to like reflect, self-reflect. I was able to use that a lot when I was writing to be like, well, this is kind of how this situation went down, and I never really processed how that felt. And having that time to really think about it was like, okay, we can also heal in the process, I guess. And yeah. Are you, what would you say is like, as a producer, I like asking producers this, like, what do you feel like is your strong point and what's your weak, like your weak point when it comes to producing?
Strong point. I would say my point is my ability to diversify the music that I produce. Like I don't only produce like one genre, and that's what my main focus was, being a producer or versatility that could go like into any session, no matter the genre, like a R&B, country, hip hop, pop, and be able to produce. But like playing the piano is really what pushed me to do that, because when I was started learning, like I started being able to play like multiple genres, and I was actually like took my production skill to the next level. So that's why I'm so like that's why what made me fall in love with playing the piano, just because like it takes a lot of time and grit. Like, but once you learn how to play, like you don't want to stop, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah, but so I would say the versatility of like what I can produce, and I would say weak point, something I need to work on. Let's see, probably. um, Oh, that's a tough one. Cause I don't know. I'm my biggest critic, but and exactly why like I take my time to like work on areas that I don't feel like I'm up to par in. But like if I had to say something as of now, I would just say sampling, just because I haven't been doing that as of lately, because I can like play the piano and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know like for me, like I hate mixing vocals.
Oh yeah.
So I'm always like,
That's tough. That's what I'm going to school for. Actually, I don't dislike it. It's just kind of annoying when you don't like. I don't know, like when you don't. can't even. I don't even know. It just gets annoying. It just gets annoying to mix and master. It's
Mm,
not the it's not the fun part of the music making process. You know.
yeah, I mean, I think I'm getting better at it, but I'm just like, mm, just not for me.
Yeah.
So, okay. Who would you say are like some of your favorite like smaller artists, you know?
Smaller artists, I would say one of my favorite smaller artists was Shorty Shorty, but ever since the last project that he put out, like he's been blowing up, and I'm happy for my son. But I guess he's not considered like a small artist no more. So let's see. I have a lot of rapping friends that I like, that I enjoy their music a lot. Like my son Jay Mackay, he's nice. He just dropped a project like a couple of months back, and he got some bangers on there. See, Low Cricks, somebody I listen to. Started doing music with a couple years ago. He's emerging. He's about to come out, blow up. Um, my son Keynotes, Just Auto. It's a lot of people that I make music with that are very talented people. So, but those are just a couple of the names. People like smaller artists that I listen to their music consistently.
Yeah, I feel like it's nice when you like have friends that you can listen to and support them like that.
Yeah, it's like coming up together, like y'all all on the same destiny, and y'all just help each other along. Somebody's full, help one another, do features, do music videos, just all that. It's a really fun process. But those are people I do really enjoy listening to their music.
Yeah,
I've
because
seen them. I've also known them for like a couple years now. It's actually funny to hear myself say it out loud, but like I've seen and heard their growth, like as opposed to when I first started listening to their music as of now. So that's dope as well.
yeah, because even recently I was working on a song with I don't know if you know um, Maria Carval. Yeah, I was doing a song with her and Donovan. Um, Donovan Long, Don. I don't know. I feel like everybody knows Donovan, but I could be wrong. But we were working on a song together, and it was nice because originally Donovan wasn't going to be on the song, but he was helping us write, and he wrote this verse, and we were like, "Hey, Don, you wanna actually hop on the track for us?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Cool, cool." And then yeah, and then just seeing your friends grow. Like someone I always say that about is Danilo. I love seeing him grow.
Nero too. I forgot about my son Nero. Yeah, he's nice. He
Yeah.
dope. Oh yeah, that's another artist. Yeah,
And when his brother drops something, I know that'll be
yeah, Brian, that's my guy too.
yeah.
Both both of them. I forgot. It's crazy how they just slipped my mind. It's just so many people, like you said, like we were talking about earlier, like surrounding yourself with people like with the same passion as you is like one thing that's gonna help you get to the next like stage of your career, you know. So yeah, I do have a lot of artist friends, but Brian and Danilo definitely another couple of underground artists that should be on the lookout for.
Yeah, because I know like with Danilo, like sometimes we just send each other like random things like, hey, I think you might be interested in like looking at this. It could help like build you up or whatever. And it's
Yeah,
always
that's what it's all about, helping each other. You know?
like, yeah. It's also nice when you like hear their music grow too.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually one of my favorite parts about listening is listen to the growth, how they were and how they are now. But it's also like a lot of artists tell their story, like of their lives, how they grew up through their music as well. You know, so it's good to hear like how it was and now it's how it's going. You know.
Yeah. That's like a big thing to me is just like the concept of growth because I'm like, okay, if I look at what I was doing a few months ago, what I'm doing now, it's different. And like, I feel like people will be able to hear that and see that, there's growth as an artist and as a person. If there's anything else, go for it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I don't think so. But I really want to stop and thank you for having me on your just having me on your to interview. Really appreciate it. This has really been great. Not gonna lie. Really appreciate the opportunity you gave me to come up on your show and and talk to you about like what's going on, like with projects and stuff I have upcoming. I really appreciate it.
yeah, of course. Like I'm really big on building this community and having that opportunity. And it means a lot to me that, like you wanted to be a part of this. Like that's especially with this being so new, like that's really big to me.
And Warren, thank you again.
Thank you.